Necro got insanely buffed in Season 1, to the point where our build variety doubled or tripled because of the Malignant Hearts, turning the Decripify into an aura. So you didn't have to have it in your skill bar anymore, and you could finally use some other skills and not just Decripify, Corpse Tendrils, Corpse Explosion. But what about the future of Necromancer right now? Because as Season 1 ends, we're going to lose all the Malignant Hearts unless they decide to take them into the Eternal Realm. No more autocast of your Skeletons, Corpse Explosion, Corpse Tendrils. That one will probably be okay. But also losing your Decripify aura, that's something that would heavily upset me. I've been trying to play the Eternal Realm again with my standard Necro, and having to cast the Decripify every single time instead of just having an aura and running around and having it, it felt rigid. It didn't feel good. And also, let's look at the core tenet they want from us. They keep saying they want build variety. They want people to experiment. They want people to be creative. And that's what the Decripify aura gave us. Let's talk about the future of Necromancer. What could be possible? How could we remedy this and make this stay forever? Because right now it's a Malignant Heart that we have. But could it be turned into an aspect of the Decrepit aura that turns your Decripify into an aura then? Maybe with even another bonus, so it's just not a wasted aspect. But if you turn this into a utility aspect, or if you actually make a Decrepit aura Paragon board, because let's be real, the Paragon boards right now buff quite nice, but I'm missing like the real cool thing about the Paragon board, like the Paragon board changing stuff tremendously. Like I thought that the Golem Paragon board is going to give me a bonus Golem. That would have been cool, but it actually just made the one Golem a little bit more sturdy. So that's a general complaint about the Paragon boards just not feeling that amazing. But let's go back to the Decrepit aura. That is one thing that truly allowed me to build every single, like, and if I'm not joking, every single Necro build I have, 8 to 9 different ones, is playing Decripify. And each of them profits from the heart of the Decrepit aura. I mean, I have that in one ring, and that ring I've taken in every single build. The Sacrilegious with the autocast is, I mean, it's nice, but that's just a matter of convenience, where the Decripify aura really does change the build. Yes, the autocast is also plenty cool, but I can understand if they don't want to take that with them, because it might make the Necromancer just turn into a complete AFK class, which it kind of a little bit is with Season 1 right now. I mean, we can just sit around and autocast. Now, the Barber Heart, in comparison, for example, you don't want that to stay in the game. Because simple matter of fact, yes, the Barber Heart is fun, and yes, it's cool to be on season extremely powerful and just rampaging and savaging everything like there's no tomorrow. But would I want to play with the Barber Heart for the next year of Diablo every single time, just having to get the Barber Heart and then... Nah, I would prefer another season mechanic over that one. The Decripify aura, yes, 100%. And I'm pretty sure there's also some hearts for the other classes that have turned out to be an absolute must-have. And I think this is what seasons are there for. This is what seasons should be. They're an experimentation ground to figure out some things that might change characters, skills, abilities in the long run, also in the Eternal Realm forever. Hell, you could put in another point into Decripify, another skill point, or if you have 5 points in Decripify, it turns into an aura. Yeah, sure. I mean, I would take a helmet with +4 in Decripify just to get a Decrepit aura. I mean, if I have 5 points in Decripify and it suddenly gets turned into an aura, or generally a skill, a Paragon board, an aspect that your curses are now auras, that's even more interesting, because then you could have Decripify and Iron Maiden as an aura straight away, which might be a little bit overpowered, to be honest. But yes, going back to the topic of the Barber Heart, that thing is insane. But damage-wise, I was already happy on the Eternal Realm. Damage-wise, I was doing millions of crits. Obviously, the Barber Heart allows many builds to work that weren't working before. But with the Nightmare Dungeon nerfs, I mean, it's not really that hard. I did a tier 100 dungeon at level 85 with the Barber Heart, and at level 100 in the Eternal Realm. The tier 100 dungeons are, with a normal Mendon build, for example, so easy right now. You can just slide through them. You don't get killed one shot by teleporting units anymore, or even the fire explosion doesn't straight up rip your head off with a proper defense. We're fine off there. Now another thing has surfaced in season 1 again, and that is that minions are still completely useless. And I'm saying that as someone who incorporates minions in every single build if possible. But if we're honest with each other, yes, I've made an Army of the Dead minion build. I could clear tier 31 nightmare dungeons, probably tier 50 nightmare dungeons right now with minions, which could tell you that minions are actually viable. They're not. Especially, it still feels like that half of the skills don't work. I took every single minion damage note. I've been using a two-handed weapon. Hell, I even used that heart that increases your minion damage. Hellbent Commander, Cult Leader, the Paragon glyphs for minion damage. And still, with Blight giving you 15 times increased minion damage and 18% with the shadows, like, you know, shadow mages, you can have them like do almost 100% bonus damage with all the multipliers and whatsoever. Like, that's just shadow multipliers, and then the other stuff on top, and glyphs, and it's like 15 to 20,000 per minion hit. Mostly it's actually 10,000, and sometimes they hit 300 to 500, despite you having like almost 300% in multipliers. Something is still vastly off about them, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the multipliers are not multiplying the way they're supposed to do. I also don't expect minions to work until probably season 4 or 5 down the line. It's gonna be a long while because there's so many little things, major things that need to get fixed in the game, where there's bugs and other multipliers not correctly working. I mean, we have to wait 4 weeks, 3 weeks until we get the bugged skill back again for more damage on the Necromancer. That's now 1 out of 1 points. And yes, my Blood Surge Summoner still has 3 out of 3, or actually has 1 out of 1 in, but it's 15% instead of the 5%. That's weird. But we have to wait 3 weeks for that little thing to get fixed. So I guess we have quite a while down the line until minions get correctly fixed. But I guess that's the good thing about ARPGs. They change. They don't stay the same. They will continuously be updated. And if you don't enjoy the game right now, that's fine. There's a lot of free-to-play games out there. There's Path of Exile out there. There's a bunch of other content out there. And as soon as season 2 hits, 3, 4, you can always come back and I'll have you updated, you know? You'll just watch the seasonal video. You're up to speed and you can straight up game Diablo again and enjoy your time with a very cool Necro build or Sorc. We're going to start the Sorc journey very soon. Now, what do you think the Necro is missing? Is there anything you're feeling that should get updated 100% to make it feel even better? Something that season 1 would take away from you that you want in the Eternal Realm. I have another point that I'm really interested in, and that's seeing a little bit more build-changing uniques. We have so far the Ring of Mendon, that's a build-changing unique that makes the whole summoner build insane. We have the Death Speaker's Pendant, which is absolutely fantastic because it makes the Blood Surge Summoner truly work. The Litless Wall, which allows you to make that Bone Storm build even more fun. But apart from that, the other uniques are all quite optional. You don't need Black River. You don't need the Hell from Below. You don't need the Bone Spear helmet. All of these are big maybes. But I love these uniques that, like Tempest Roar on the Druid, that truly change a build. That if you choose this, you can build something completely different. And that's what I would like to see a little bit more on the Necro. I mean, truly, please have like, where's my bonus golem? I keep coming back to the bonus golem because 1 golem is just not good enough. But if you give me 2, that would be fantastic. Then I could play 2 golems and I could give both of them bone storms and we could run around as like army of the den, kind of, but better. So that would be quite nice. But yeah, in general, build defining uniques are something that really makes unique fun. And right now, a lot of the uniques are like, you get the Hell from Below and it's like, have or not to have. Yes, 40% more damage on Corpse Explosion is nice, but you're doing very well without it damage-wise as well, getting other multipliers in. That's me rambling on a little bit about Necro. If you now want to play said Bone Storm Necromancer, Tempest Storm. Here's the full build for you. Or that sneaky summoner who's actually using Army of the Dead. Enjoy.